As you can see, I have something different on the screen today. I have Studio One, Studio One 5. And just to give you a brief history, I heard about I've heard great things about Studio One since Studio One version 1. And honestly, after using it years after years, sorry, but let me have people contacting me about music. Have that Cubase has, like for an example, you know, if you're familiar with Cubase, Cubase has where you can edit the track and they have like a built-in EQ, and also like they have like built-in mixing effects like de-essers and stuff like that, which is really good. And honestly, they're really good effects. I mean, but as far as like just straight up workflow, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can set up a nice I'm pretty sure I can set up a nice template where I can have like an EQ on each track, and just kind of make it quick. But honestly, just the workflow, and I had a lot of fun, making the music. And I think that this is a really, 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 really well made DAW. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you hear the track that I made. And honestly, the reason why I don't have my face cam on, because I'm looking like a caveman. I've been up, I haven't been able to sleep because I've been wanting to get more into Studio One, and that just might be just the newness of it. That when you create something and with something new, sometimes you kind of get excited. So it might mellow out after a while, but I think that I'm really leaning towards using Studio One, for mixing and beat making as well. It doesn't mean I'm gonna never use Cubase again. It doesn't mean that I'm not gonna use Machine for my beats again, but just the way that they have things set up, it's really, really dope. So let's get into it, and make sure that you guys like and subscribe for for more content like this. I'm really, really, really excited about just learning Studio One, and I'm gonna tell you at the end of the video what was the main thing that made me think that I really wanted to switch exclusively to this DAW. But let's get into it. I'm gonna play the track as it is right now. Let's just play that and see what we have. Okay, so, and honestly, for some reason, I feel like I hear 2 Chainz on that. Y'all, that might be me just kind of being me, but I don't know. For some reason, I just hear 2 Chainz on there. But okay, so one of the things that I want to talk about that was a bit confusing, because this is the master track. And right here, this is just a level meter. And I just kind of positioned it where I could kind of see where my levels were as I was mixing. And for some, okay, like it shows that I'm not hitting zero. Let's go to, like, I would say one of the louder parts. Okay, and let me make sure before I make a fool out of myself. Let me make sure that yeah, this is the true peak meter, so it should be in decibels. It should be zero. It's telling me that I'm hitting around. It's telling me that I'm hitting around negative 3 dB. But if you look here on the main, oh, let me go back to that position. I'm just about peaking at zero at like 0.86. So I'm pretty sure I'll be looking into that. I mean, this is really just like day two with Studio One. But I love the pregame and the quick grouping feature is really dope. And what I mean, like with Cubase, you have like if I wanted to link some controls together to be able to control like a group of faders, I would have to select them and then hit quick link and then do some work. But with this, I, you know, pretty much grab everything and I just really get to moving. I don't, like so that kind of takes a step and that's to me that's really quick. I know a lot of you like, oh, I mean, you just hitting one button. Yeah, but the ease of use to me is better. You get more stuff done. The productivity is key. I mean, it keeps you in the creative moment where you don't have to go searching for stuff and or forget to do something. I kind of hate that. Okay, but moving on. Um, Most of the stuff I use, I think this was Omnisphere. Yeah, and okay, so and honestly, I just kind of I layered these three just to make something different. So Bell, Bell 2 and Bell 3 are actually the same sounds, but I just manipulated them differently. If you actually want to know how I manipulated them, well, I might as well tell you. Okay, so let me let you hear this. And I have to get used to everything because, you know, um, I'm always looking for the edit, the edit VST button that I would normally have with Cubase. I have to remember to look here or on the tracks. Okay, so the first thing I have, let me just take everything off. This is what it sounds like by itself. Okay, so the first thing I did was added shaper box. And if you want to see those settings, these are the settings right here on the time setting. And I added a filter just to kind of give it some, you know, just to give it a different type of effect. Um, I added F6 just to kind of muffle some of those highs as I started layering these. The highs started getting really out of control. So it kind of just mellowed it out, gave me a more of a, mid range. And I added this chorus. This was kind of like an afterthought. This was just kind of like when I was almost done with the mix and I was just trying to get something with a little bit of spread without just going to like a S1 imager or something like that. This is off and this is on. And what it really did, honestly, was just kind of smoothed it out a little bit and just moved it around. And this one, let me solo this. And I love that. Like that's just, like the way that's manipulated. It's actually really dope. Okay, so I just have a flanger. Oh, let me take everything off. And this is how it sounds, which you know how it sounds. I add on the flanger. It moves it around a little bit, makes it a little wavy. and I added on auto filter. And what I did was I went to this setting right here where you can just kind of make the auto filter, the filter, and just kind of jump in and out. And I will say that this is actually, like, as far as my initial thoughts, this is like one of my favorite effects to use on something. I haven't really got a chance to dive into everything, but this right here is actually my favorite. And I just kind of stumbled across it and was just trying some stuff, but it's really dope. So it sounds like this with both effects on. All right. So what I can do is also, like, let's just try that. Okay. So that's that, and Bell 3. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I transposed these up an octave first. So this is going to be a higher pitch, which I actually like the way that sounds. I added Pro EQ just to take those highs down, and I just pulled it down very, very slightly around, what is this, about 3 to 4K, somewhere up in there. Yeah, about 3K. And I rolled off some of the lows because I put halftime on it, and with halftime, it sounds like this. And just the FYI, a lot of these type of manipulations are some of the things that I use for my sound kits. So and quick shout out to the guys who've been supporting me with my sound kits. It does help. I added some pancake just to kind of just make it auto pan a little bit. I've had this plug-in for more than likely over a year, and I think that's the first time I used it. And I went back to auto filter, and with auto filter, it sounds like this. Like that. That's why I say, I mean, if you're hearing what I'm hearing, you see why now I'm saying that the auto filter is where it's at. So, with that being said, the next is this pad right here, and I think this is expand. Yeah. Uh, the patch is bioluminescence, and I don't think I did anything to it. Well, I did add auto filter on there for it's like the third instance of it, so I guess I kind of spammed auto filter. But this is the only thing I have on there. Without it, it sounds like this, which was really nice. But I was just kind of digging that that auto filter vibe, and it almost made it gave it like a alien type undertone. It just made it sound a little more sci-fi. And with the kick, um, this kick was just sounding a little weak. I'm not sure if it's just because I haven't really got adjusted to the volume. It seems like the volume calibration might be a little different than Cubase. I'm not sure if it was just me, but I felt like this kick was just lacking. But this is one of my kicks, so I was shocked. But let's listen to it without the effects. Oh, I'm tripping. Okay, so that's it without the kick, and I added red light district. And honestly, um, I'm glad that I actually came across this plugin because with Cubase, I was normally using a plugin called Destroyer because I mean it makes your kicks. So I mean, as soon as you put it on there, the default, the default preset, just the way it's set up, it make your kicks sound amazing. So honestly, that would be one of the plugins I would not want to give up. So with Red Light District, this is how it sounds. So honestly, it's really not doing too much. It's really just kind of adding on just a little bit of drive, very small amount, because the more you add, it kind of takes away the low end, and it just, depending on how you add it, it gets a little crazy. And I added on a limiter just to kind of pump it up just a little bit. Keep on hitting stopped twice. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, I didn't even do a lot with the limiter. I just kind of put it on the soft clip mode instead of the true peak, and added like 2 decibels a gain. Uh, I mean, and it sounds just a little bit distorted. It's not really like a heavy bottom kick, but when you hear it, as a matter of fact, I might as well go ahead and just pair that up because I feel like y'all gonna try my gangster, like like I didn't come out with a good sound with this with my kick. But this is the kick and the 808 together. So, and that is my 808 as well. I think that's go mode if you have the stimulus sound pack. And it's the snare. Man, it almost sounds like I'm kind of promoting my it almost sounds like I'm kind of promoting my sound pack, but I'm not. I'm just it's maybe it's the ADD, y'all. Maybe it's the ADD, but I just love, good sounds. So let me play you the snare. And that really just has just a little bit of room reverb on it. So without the reverb, it's just sounding dry. And I just thought the room reverb helped it kind of sit in the mix. And the clap actually has some reverb on it too. But I like the sound of the clap, even though it's kind of low mid heavy. It worked. So, and it did have like a weird modulation type thing going on with the reverb for some reason. And I'll do the hi hats open and close together. All right, well, I thought I played them together. Okay, and we are back at the 808. What did I have on the 808? Let's see here. And as you can see, when I just took everything off, the plugins that I use they're really not pumping up the sounds. So it's just when I add on things, I try to add on for character. I mean, some stuff does need to be pumped, like like the limiter on the kick. Yeah, I needed the kick to push just a little bit, but like with this is with the red light district on the 808, and all it really did was kind of round off the bottom. That's without it. So it kind of rounds out the bottom just a little bit, and the compressor, I actually just set it to side chain the kick. I normally don't use this one. I normally use the C1 from Waves, but it was like it was already there, so I just made it happen. And that was a but honestly, I haven't used that compressor a whole lot, but that was a really really dope compressor. And I normally use Waves plugins, but Studio One has some really really good sounding plugins. And what made me say that was on the master bus. I'll get to that in just a minute, but I compared their standard limiter to like the Waves L1 Ultramizer plugin, and the Waves L1, like the more I pushed it, like my snare and my clap, like it started sounding really, 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 really like it was sounding bad. I'm gonna just put that out there. But but it actually when I used the Personas one, it pumped it up the way I wanted it, but it didn't have those harsh high frequencies and stuff like that. So honestly, that lets me know that they have some really good algorithms with their plugins. So and with the Pro EQ, like you really don't have to cut drastically with those plugins. So I will definitely say that Personas has some nice algorithms with their plugins. It's not just they just slap something up as a stock plugin. The ones that I've messed with are really really good. And they not I'm not sponsored by Personas. So that should let you know that I'm thinking that these are really dope. And the Pro EQ, what did I do with the Pro EQ? Oh, I took down just a little bit, and at 20K or 25K, I actually dipped it down just a little bit because this kick was, you know, I mean, in my headphones it was rocking, but you know, on a cell phone speaker, it's probably not going. So, so the three plugins that I put on there really just added a nice bit of character. And the symbols that I added on, I just kind of I think I grabbed this out of a free kit that I had for a while now. But I just did almost like a reverse symbol type deal, and I think I just have delay and EQ. I mean, we all know what delay sounds like, so I really don't have to A/B it, but I'll play what I have, and I'll open it up so you can actually see how I reverse them that way. That give me like a nice transition type of effect. Okay, and with the hi, well, this was like an open hi hat that I used, but and it's pretty pretty standard. But I just got the idea, and something made me want to try it. But let me bypass this because I use Shaper Box just to give me a particular effect. But this is it. This is how it sounds, plain Jane. All right, yeah. I know y'all thinking like, what was that? But I added Shaper Box, and I just kind of played around with the settings because I wanted something kind of like a tape stop. And honestly, I wanted to use a longer open hi hat, but I just ended up using this one. So, and it kind of blended in with the track really well. And let me see, was it anything else that I could say? And honestly, on the master bus, I was kind of trying some stuff like with this tri comp. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it gave my mix just a nice bit of almost like a vintage compression sound. So I haven't used it enough to really say that this is what you want to use. I mean, I'm not even sure if it would be something that I would use on my master bus from here on out, but I was just kind of trying out some stuff and I just kept it. And let's see here. How do I move this? Okay. Oh, that's I think that's why when I was saying that I needed to calibrate it, because I think when I moved this from here, it copied the effect instead of that wasn't okay. I'm going crazy, y'all. Okay, but so I just pretty much used. I was really just trying to. I was just trying to get a feel for how to mix and Studio One, but that's pretty much about it. But as far as like some of the things that I actually enjoyed, it's like the MIDI editing. Like you have a macro section where I haven't really dug into it, but I was looking on YouTube and I seen that it's like you really can get into this thing like to the point where you can actually design it to um like you can design it to strum your notes and all type of stuff. I mean, like create chords, uh like reverse the chords so you can actually like if you have want to have an altered melody, uh to go with your main melody. I mean, you can do all type of stuff. But I'm not going to make this video long, but the more I learn, I'm going to be putting out videos, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And what I'll do is I'll play a bit of that, just a little bit of that beat so you can actually hear, because I don't think you guys were paying attention to this sound right here, the hi-hats in the mix. So I'm just going to play it, and that'll just be the outro. But I hope you guys are blessed. I hope you guys are doing well out there. And make sure you like and subscribe. It helps the channel. And I do not, well, I do have ways you can donate. If you would like to donate to me, let me know. I'll start putting the link, PayPal link in the chat. I mean, in the description. But I would say the best way, if you need beats, go to gotbetterbeats.com. If you need sounds, you can actually buy one of the sound kits. It definitely helps. All right. Peace.